It's a Thursday morning in the capital. Welcome to the AM News. My name is Paa Kwesi Schandorf. Now, more than 30 civil society organizations say that they would hold a series of demonstrations if President Akufo-Addo fails to hit to course to fire Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta at the call by the CSOs follow a move by members of parliament serving on the ticket of the ruling New Patriotic Party, who also petitioned the president to sack Mr. Ofori-Atta, who they argue has lost control over the economic affairs of this country, hence creating disaffection for the party at the grassroots. The CSOs also say that the president should also consider a reshuffle. Meanwhile, the majority in Parliament has agreed to a proposal by President Akufo-Addo to allow Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to prepare the 2023 budget and also conclude talks with the International Monetary Fund. A statement by the majority leader reads in this manner. And so there you have it, headlined the Majority Caucus, statement by the Majority Caucus in Parliament dated 26th of October 2022. Now, it says that following the press conference held on Tuesday, 25th October 2022, by some members of the Majority Caucus in Parliament demanding the removal of the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and the Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Charles Edubuahin, from office, the President engaged members of the caucus and requested that the issue be stood down until conclusion of the round of negotiations with the International Monetary Fund and the presentation of the budget statement and economic policy in November 2022 and the subsequent passage of the appropriation bill, after which the demand shall be acted upon. After deliberations among the Majority Caucus today, Wednesday, 26th October 2022, it was agreed to accede to the President's appeal. And you have there that statement duly undersigned by the Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu. Now, turning our attention away from the residents on the 58-kilometer stretch of road between Nkwanta South Municipality and the regional capital, Dambai, say that the current state of the road is seriously affecting their economic activities, as drivers do not want to use the road for fear of getting involved in an accident or getting stuck in the mud. Some other communities are cut off whenever it rains heavily. They therefore want government to expedite construction on some of the roads to bring them some respite and as commuters and residents. Peter Seno visited the communities and has more in the following report.
You see the road to the capital town of Oti region is uncalled for. So we are pleading on the government to come and do justice to the road for us. Because here our business is gari processing, yam farming, and all lot of yam processing. So we are pleading on the government to take a look at our business that we are doing here, so that he can help us with the road, so that our business can run faster and we can also achieve what we want.
The lamentation of one of the residents on the 58-kilometer Nkwanta Dambai road. The current state of the road, they say, is affecting economic activities on the stretch. This is Krontine, a peasant community on the stretch. Here, yam and cassava are processed for bigger markets, but the state of the road is preventing drivers from coming into the community to cut their goods for the urban markets. Here are some resident traders.
Kwani nyakura kura say nso nya to say ya mpacho mombombaru no ba kwaye maye nya ya kakra ejina mfuturo na fa wo so sapu ntimi home no mframa mfuturo no ta kwa ohinemu poto no waye basa wo se no waye kokokokokokokoko mpamcho mombombaru no ba kwaye na maye sramo nkura nyamianim mahu ahanum na gali ni free na ekọ special gali pa gali biscuits gali aduana ye cheap ewo wiasum nyina na gali na nso price na enko belodi said kwa say kwan nya ebetimi ama aduane na akakwan so entimi enko akire no amuamuso akire ofam no amuso bre enti yesram
ekwan de haya papa ema ya dwano nko so se wudin ebi anoma ebi wo ho a na wanya nto a ebesai na wusika no ahye so when you be say you are so din amaye nti akwa ne de haya adwa papa enu manu haya ya sra ban se onda ni na ni mehwe ye na wan ye kwa no maye ne yeso ye adwa no nyankoso ye nyan enu mu ne ye di hwe ye nsuku nkwala ye didie mu ye hospital komu enu sa adwa no mu ne ye di hwe ye suku nkwa ye di ye nyum nyina nti ye sra no onda na ni mehwe ye na ye kwa no maye nyasa
On our way to the community, the vehicle for these goods, we are told, lost balance and fell, destroying about 5 bags of gari meant for Accra. A different vehicle had to be brought in to load the goods.
Andurani akolodi ewo ayi kechebi. Ebeduru ana kwenu nye. Ena balance afa na yeka na munu. Ena ka na to fonde na yakofa ka fro eyilo nu edima ka fro no. Ena kwenwe so achepa afibi ambebe se mbabe kwen no moye ombe dada yesa nda no ka menu anya hwa ena nde ska na sa be hwinti esra be so mbe kwen no me yasa na de be ne ena eduru vote time mo yembese hu no mo a omo dada afibi ambe dada yesa mbabe kwen no moye
anokware yakwa na ye yakwa no de enka nyame ase kan kure kwane ye firasa akodu keche bi ko falo du kura du bridge no ha bre obebre ansa na obepe ha yazen ketwa ekwanso de bia fi bia aban ye sebe votu efire ndc ekwo MPP efire ndc ekwo MPP abesi na ehunu nti ye de esre ye obi oba besi okwana ma na ye hwe se nyame bua na okwano mbesi se mai aduane de obi abedidi ni fie o obi anu ndidi ni fie obi abedidi ni fie okwa ekwa na hia wo so do kodu ko dura ka ya kolodu abegu ai hwe ni dize na hwegu nu oil la hwegu ka na bubu e ka ba ho.
The road, other residents argue, becomes very dusty during Harmattan, causing respiratory infections.
O sitobre de na daji ni hokura. Nsoro to a wan na airport. Ka se ba na tintim mu ntimi nko. Bridge kura bi wo hormo kura no. Na nsuo na atwe ayi na tie na firi bridge no ho. Enti amaka no bedu ho a na ka na asai. Ntimi nko. De enso ba na nso ntimi mba. Na ma yadua na ye de kodwomu no. Ye ntimi nko. Yaso nkwanta dwa ne edi na openi ba besi so mfuturo adaji ni hokura etimi ma ye yade se aban se ye no sma ye de kata kura ubua mfuturo mfa yasum ewura yemu na ade yade kata no haye ndi haye wa no.
The dust is entering our eyes, is causing accidents. Yesterday like this, accidents happen. It's not easy.
Where?
Students.
Wow.
Around the locals there.
Wow.
The student, he nearly lost his life. Wow. So we are begging the government to come and help us.
Now, about 1,000 farmers from the Upper East and Northeast regions will this morning petition Vice President Dr. Mamudu Bawumia and the Northern Members of Parliament, asking them to prioritize the Polugu multi-purpose dam project for investment as part of the IMF negotiations ahead of the March. Leadership of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has visited the construction site for the Polugu Dam and expressed disappointment at the disappearance of the contractor from site. Dr. Charles Nyaba is Executive Director of PFAG.
I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. I'm sort of worse. You see, there was a little bit of hope in us when I didn't come to the site. But as you can see, the contractor has packed out of sight. And what is even making it more annoying and frightening is the fact that his tent that he brought here, the chippings that they bought, the sand that they bought, they sold everything to the community. The community members told us that people came to buy them. The community members, they sold it to them. Okay?
They sold what?
They sold the tents, they sold the sand, that these stones even lying there. They sold it. People are here to come and fetch it. Okay? So what I know with government projects is that if government run out of funding, contractors leave site, anytime they are paid, they come to continue. But in this case, what has informed the contractor's decision to actually sell the things that he came in to put up to use for work? And I'm tempted to believe that maybe government had truncated the project, but they are not telling us. So the march is now to bring the community members involved. We are not just leaving this project to only the politicians or only to our leaders. So the march is actually bringing all the farmers in Upper East and North-East who are interested in the development of this irrigation project to be part of it, to raise concerns, to let the whole country know that They are so passionate about this project, and whatever government is discussing as part of the IMF bailout negotiation, this dam should be prioritized for investment. Okay, if IMF bailout will release government and give them opportunity to go in for loans, we want this dam to be number one in terms of infrastructure development in Northern Ghana. We will try all our best to engage the Vice President to understand whether this project that he initiated that we are so happy about, which is going to be a historic project because this 24,000 hectares, the highest irrigation dam we had in this country is 3,500 hectares. That's the Tono and then Pong irrigation project. So it is a reason why we those in this part of the country are so much in love with the Vice President. But I'm sure that at least given his interest for the development of Northern Ghana, he should be able to give us an idea whether we should be hoping for this project to continue or it has actually been abandoned.
The Asante Hene has accused some government officials and politicians of being complicit in the Galamsey menace. Otumfuo Saitutu II says that some politicians and business individuals not only participate in the illegal activity but also own excavators that are used to destroy forests and water bodies. The Asante Hene made the revelation when a delegation from the multimedia group presented a copy of its latest documentary, Distraction for Gold, to him at the Minsha Palace in Kumasi. Himintoya has the rest of the details.
The Asante Hene at the Minsha Palace is part of the No to Galamsey campaign by JoyNews in the fight against illegal mining. The Asante Hene observed illegal mining operations have become so complex to the extent gold can be exported out of the country through the borders without being detected.
Gold chrono enam airport until ye wafidi e de chi gold wo ho na ye ni bi ho na ya kasa Galamsey enkrofo aye pindi eni en afra ye nyina se ya me ani amre ne ya ntwa no na pass ye concern bo eni ye betwa na de onu ye ni abamu mpanyimfo politics mo wo mu nyina ka ho greater wo ma to tobi businessman for to tobi bebre enti kon no ye ko a e was ye me ne bre ne ko ya we ye koko a ye dua no e bedru baby no na fe de kokora e beka se cyanide ne ye abam ti ye ntobio.
The multimedia group delegation was led by the general manager of the Kumasi business unit, Jim Agla. It included Kofi Adudumfe, the news editor, Erastus Asaridonko, who produced the documentary, and Ohiminteria, an assistant editor. The Asante Hene promised to watch the documentary and take necessary action afterwards. According to him, until the right people behind the illegality are targeted and dealt with, the fight against Galamsey would continue to be a mirage.
Me hwe de adwuma wo mai ni nyina no firi ho aye hu de be ya fa ho na no ane se ye nyina nim se Galamsey kure ya ye kan ye Ghana fo na ne Ghana fo ne di anim ne South Chinese yo hwan yo ana ayasem ya ye hu se nim nipa ye enso ye nim nipa ye nyina e kwa ni akotwa photo se nkwala no a atache wo ye hu se Galamsey ni atwe photo se ya chi Galamsey fo gold no hwana jikoy.
Erastus Asaridonko is happy at the advocacy role played by the Asante Hene in the Galamsey fight.
Otumfuo is the embodiment of power and advocacy across the world. And so we felt that having done and exposed what is really happening to our river bodies, both in the Ashanti region, western region, and the eastern regions across Ghana, we felt that he is the custodian of all lands and water bodies. So we should show it to him. And if he starts an advocacy in that direction, we are sure that we are going to get somewhere, and he's going to play a major role in helping restore the natural value of our water bodies and our forest reserves.
From Kumasi for JoyNews, Ohiminteria reporting.
Now, contractors who worked on a 20-unit residential complex for Court of Appeal judges in Kumasi are making a case for local content in the construction space. 4 indigenous contractors worked on the project, which was completed before schedule. The quality of work has received high commendation. Another report by Ohimin Tevia. That's why I always say I want to see.
President Akufo-Addo in April last year, with the support of the Asante-Hene, cast off for the construction of a residential complex for Court of Appeal judges in Kumasi. The project was completed 3 months before schedule. The magnificent gated facility, sited on 7-acre land in Denyame, one of the prime areas in Kumasi, is not only tailor-made to suit the judges, but was constructed by local contractors with local materials.
This is the fastest executed project I've ever seen.
Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah was first to make a case for the contractors.
In less than 1.5 years, this project has become a reality and very magnificent. I think such contractors should receive a pat at the shoulder. And we need to get a list of such competent contractors.
President Akufo-Addo, during the commissioning, commended the work of the administrator of District Assembly's Common Fund and the project contractors.
The efforts of Chief Justice Enin Yabua, his predecessor, Chief Justice Sofia Akufo, the former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Hajia Alima Mahama, the current Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, the Honorable Dan Boche, Member of Parliament for Okre, and the Honorable Irene Toshi Addo, Administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, must be warmly commended. As indeed the work of the contractors who have brought us to this day.
Project manager with FEDEMS Limited, Benjamin Fosu Asante, reviewed all raw materials, contractors and workers were sourced from Ghana, with majority from the KNUST. He says local contractors, when given the nod, can deliver without hitches.
Everything that you see here, materials, the labor strength, the workforce, the engineers, all professionals, are local people, indigenous Ghanaians, and more importantly, from KNUST, the core technical team, the professional team. So it is obvious that we can also do exceedingly well. I mean, comparing us to the foreign nationals. This project is a testimony of what you just asked me. This project was finished within schedule. We had 4 main contractors, that's Construction Ambassadors, Superior Royal, MIT, and then First Sky Limited.
From Kumasi, for JoyNews, Ohimin Tevia reporting.
Now, the Women's Commission of the National Service Personnel Association, NASPA, has held a free breast cancer screening exercise in Jema in the Kintampo South District of the Bono East region. Amidu Titiaka Rashida says that this will reduce the morbidity and mortality related to the disease in rural communities. And Asabit has more in this report.
The most common cancer amongst women, and owing to the lack of awareness of the disease and in the absence of various breast cancer screening programs, particularly in rural communities, majority of breast cancers are diagnosed at a relatively advanced stage. To help address this and increase sensitization and awareness for early detection amongst rural women, the Office of the Women Commission of the National Service Personnel Association, led by the National WUCOM, Amidu Titiaka Rashida, held a breast cancer screening exercise in Jema in the Kintampo South District.
We are doing free breast cancer screening, and then we saw Kintampo South to be one of the rural areas in the country. That is why we chose to come here. And then when we got here, going around some of the communities around the town, there are some people who don't even have any idea of what breast cancer is. And then this initiative has really brought them on board, and they are here. So we are here to educate them and also get them screened and encourage them to go to the clinic or facilities in every 6 months to do the breast screening, and then to also do self-screening on their own, like every month.
Bertha Oforiwa Apia is the district's non-communicable disease control coordinator. She underscored the relevance of the screening and sensitization exercise and asked that new cases were recorded through the screening exercises.
What I can say about the statistics in the district is that the women do not usually come unless we are in the month of October. Whilst we are creating the awareness, they are prompted to come to the facility. And as we started this screening and sensitization, we've recorded some cases, even among the youth. We had some with lumps in their breasts. We also saw some with their breasts in the latter stages. So as we started this sensitization and screening, we've recorded some cases and we've referred them to the facilities.
Dr. Amadou Roda is in charge of the screening exercise. She encouraged women to take monthly self-examination of the breast as one of the surest ways of combating breast cancer.
We should take advantage of this. Monthly self-breast examinations, very important. Every woman should do this. Every month, try to stand in front of the mirror, examine yourself. No one knows your breast better than you. And every 3 months, for those less than 40, every 3 months, you should go for the hospital for the clinical breast exam. And the women at 40, you have your first mammogram. Then from there, every 3 months, you can have your mammogram coupled with your self-breast examination and a clinical breast examination as well.
Salahima of Jema, Nana Amisa encouraged women to stay away from self-medications and seek for early medical attention.
Namo ese wutu anamonko ayaresabia na ne doctor edi ho nkita ho na ye gyae se yare ato na de ahyefie ye de abibiduro ye de kun so mo na wo pnesu nsu ohie no so no etumi ha adwen ba se odu doctor de a kwan bi ofo be bo bia no obetumi aboa wo ntimi de nne ne mahu se wo bia e so hu se enya abonsam yare na mom eye nipadua mu yare a ewu.
The exercise, organized by the Office of the Women Commission of NASPA, was supported by Nada Jinapo Foundation and other partners. Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Jema.
Well, that's all for the news this morning. My name is Paa Kwesi Schandorf. For more, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. The show continues. Don't go anywhere. Stay.